Hey guys, like every week, we end our show with the finisher. The finisher this week is Josh McDaniels backs out of the Colts job after they talk about they're doing a press conference to introduce him as the next head coach.
Yeah, we know this is a little, we know that this has been, people know about Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
What we're diving into is who came after and how this all works out.
Well, I also, interesting that we watched a head coaching position with the Jets kind of about to go to Bill Belichick years ago, and Belichick walked away and did something else. We almost saw McDaniels take this job, and he walked away for something else. The Jets missed out on Belichick, right? Could you imagine if
Jet move? Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Jets had Belichick? But
I'm gonna say that.
The person that they end up replacing Josh McDaniels with, Frank Reich. He's the owner of the greatest comeback in NFL history, 32-point deficit to win 42-40 in overtime, or 41-38 in overtime against the Houston Oilers at the time. He leads the Bills back. He was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles this year. And we watched the Eagles in the Super Bowl play an extremely creative offensive game plan. I saw plays and I saw things that, I watched things happening and I'm like, why doesn't my team call plays like this?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. Do you think that the Colts are better off, or do you think the Colts messed this up and this is going to impact them for another few seasons?
I don't think with Frank Reich. Right. I don't think he's a bad. I think he's great. I think sometimes your second best option when things don't work out becomes your best option. I mean, it has to be, but I also think Josh McDaniels, whatever he left, he decided to stay with New England, and they gave him a deal he couldn't refuse to keep his family in New England and his school system and all that. So listen, I mean, he's putting his family first. I can't really blame him. I mean, his agent came out and said he committed professional suicide. I disagree with that, but I still think the Colts did a good job. I think a lot of Frank's, though, what it depends on is Mr. Luck's shoulder. How is that? If Luck isn't Andrew Luck, can he do the same thing? I don't know. I think it's good. I don't think it's a problem. I mean, we'll see. I don't think they went from here to like that. I think if anything, they may are here and they may go that. He may take them that way. So,
McDaniels didn't do amazingly well as the Denver Broncos head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He drafted Tim Tebow in the first round. He committed to that experiment that failed. And he had a team around him that as soon as he was removed and Tebow was removed, they bring in Peyton Manning and they win Super Bowl, right? And Josh McDaniels was the guy before that. Now, you have to look at that and you have to say, in the other years that he was there and the other time that he was there, maybe he put together a really solid team that ended up being the bones for what became the Super Bowl winning Broncos team.
Yeah.
But maybe he wasn't ready. It wasn't the right time. And you look at that, and the Colts roster is in bad shape. I can't look at you and tell you, hey, the Colts have a really great, and name anything.
Yeah,
right?
Besides Andrew Luck when he's healthy.
But even Andrew Luck, I have no idea what Andrew Luck's going to be at this point in time in his career, right? If his arm, if his stuff, it's not the same, right? He's not going to necessarily be the quarterback. He just missed an entire year, and they still don't know if he's going to come back. And to think that your situation offensively is there. Now, they trade for Jacoby Brissett, who was a nice player. I think that you can win games around Jacoby Brissett if you have the underlying foundation of what a team is. But I think that job was going to be a difficult job for any coach. And for Josh McDaniels, who failed already once, if he fails again, you're never a head coach again, right? You better want to walk in. And that's where I look at Belichick and I say, Belichick was looking at a situation with the Jets that he didn't think that they were going to be successful for the longer term. And he looked at the Patriots and said, I think I have better bones there. I can take that team over, and I have my quarterback, I have my this, I have my that, and I could walk in there. Because even before there was Brady, there was Drew Bledsoe. And Drew Bledsoe was an all-pro level quarterback, right? The year after they traded him for a first-round pick, he led the league in passing. It's not like the Patriots didn't have a lot of interesting things. The Jets didn't. And I can't look at Belichick and say he made a bad choice.
No.
So I look at McDaniels and I say, okay, that might be difficult. And for Frank Reich, he hasn't been a coordinator for an extremely long period of time. I think there's low expectations for him, so you're not going to get killed in your first year if the team is bad again. I think that they need to look at their situation and they need to start preparing for what do we have if we don't have Luck. They've got no running back, really. Marlon Mack's okay. Frank Gore was old. Your receivers, T.Y. Hilton walked away. You traded Dorsett. You're sitting there now, and I don't think that they have
a lot of pieces.
I think that it would be better for them to bottom out. And that's just my opinion. But like every week with the finisher, we want you guys to tell us what you think. Message us or leave a comment at the bottom of the video here. Let us know, do you think that the Colts are going to be better off with Frank Reich, or do you think they missed out on Josh McDaniels? And guys, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.
See you later.